What's up, y'all? We're going to be reacting to B-Ball Breakdown, talking about, is Luka Doncic the problem? Now, this is something I'm pretty passionate about, because, look, I know Luka Doncic is a great basketball player, probably one of the top 3 players in our league right now. But, defensively, in this series, versus the Boston Celtics, he has been absolutely cooked, fried, sizzled like a piece of bacon. So, is Luka Doncic the problem? I don't know. But I think defensively, he has to find a way to be more impactful. So I'm interested in B-Ball Breakdown, a guy I definitely respect a ton. What his opinion is on this. And yeah, just is Luka's offense offsetting what he gives you defensively right now?
And here's Luka again, being more focused on the officials than he is on his team. He is going to have to get past this issue that is dragging him down. His teammates have been...
And it is super annoying and frustrating to watch. I mean, it just ruins the game to me.
Begged him. His coaches have begged him. His countrymen have begged him, and he's just not getting over the hump.
There is no question that when it comes to how Luka interacts with the referees, there's a very real problem. Time and again in these playoff games, Luka gets so absorbed with what the refs are doing that it affects everyone's play around him. Even when the refs call a foul for a teammate of his, you can still see him complain about it. All that being said, it was kind of shocking to see Brian Windhorst destroy Luka like this.
He is costing his team because of...
It was. Brian Windhorst left nothing left unsaid. He left it all out there.
How he treats the officials. His performance in this game is unacceptable, and the reason why the Mavericks are not going to win. He's got to get over this. And the fact that he came out after the game and blamed the officials showed me he's nowhere close yet.
We couldn't play physical, so...
First off, he says they didn't let them play physical, but he even acknowledged that he committed the foul on 2 of them. On this one, he clearly prevents Tatum from using his right arm to gather the ball, so that's an easy call.
Yeah, that's an obvious foul. What do you...
The elbow to the head when he spins on Brown in the post seemed like a pretty reasonable call.
I mean, this is one that I feel like could have went either way.
As well, and then he loses his balance before causing leg-to-leg contact that brings Brown to the ground. This isn't physicality that the refs could, in good faith, not call.
6th foul in the NBA Finals, where basically I'm like this. Come on, man. Better than that.
But this...
He's talking about be better than that. You be better than that, Luka. Complaining consistently to the officials is getting lame.
This is part of what Windhorst was saying. I believe Luka got so caught up in the referee's calls that he wasn't thinking straight. No one should be trying to take a charge in this situation when you've already got 5 fouls with 4 minutes left in the game. He knows he's got Green backing him up, so just play defense and don't get involved in such a risky attempt. He was not in legal guarding position since he wasn't directly in front of Brown's path, so this was an easy review to uphold.
I mean, that was a block. Do I love the call? No, but it's you kind of got to call it since Jaylen Brown fell down. But you can't even put yourself in that position.
The Mavericks with virtually no chance of winning down the stretch. It's almost like he was betting that the refs wouldn't dare foul him out of the game at this point, but there was too much contact to ignore. And if you don't want to foul out of the browser game, you've got to use Opera. The faster, safer, and smarter, very helpful.
Shout out to using that because B-Ball Breakdown
and their games. I think the best feed internet. So click like Luka, who was so caught up with the calls that twice in a row he fell down after 3-point shots out top.
And the second one was really poor. This one,
he was so fed up with the refs that
that's poor too. You cannot fall on that.
Felt if he just fell down, they're bound to give him a call. Instead, he's not back in time to help.
The second one is horrible. But y'all gotta realize that's a huge swing right there. You miss a 3, you give one up in transition because you fall down.
And on
this one is ridiculous.
No question, it is his job to get back as the shooter from out top. Everyone else is below the free throw line.
You cannot fall down in that situation. You just can't.
So make no mistake, Luka has to be the safety valve back. He's on the ground, slow to get up, upset with the refs, and the Celtics get a big dunk to affect the momentum going into the second quarter. We talked all about what the Celtics were doing defensively after Game 2, and they continue to make the Mavericks offense a lot less potent in Game 3 as well. But let's look at the Mavericks defense, since they made a key adjustment no one else noticed, and whether that had a positive effect. As a mirror to what the Celtics did by having their centers guard Derrick Jones Jr., a guard, the Mavericks decided to put Kyrie Irving, a guard, on Al Horford, a center, in an effort to hide him from the more lethal parts of the Celtics offense. And it worked on this possession, with Daniel Gafford closing to Drew Holiday instead of Kyrie, and he offers a good contest of the shot into a miss.
That is a good contest.
What this really boiled down to was trying to keep Kyrie out of guarding people in the corners, as he barks at Green to switch with him so he can guard Drew on the wing. Here's another example of the strategy at work on the weak side, as Jaylen Brown tries to take advantage of the space Luka is giving him, but
is it because they want Jalen Green in the low man, Josh Green in the low man position and Kyrie not?
Comes up empty. And the reason they want to keep Kyrie from guarding the corners becomes apparent on this possession. Notice how he starts out on Horford in the right wing as Dereck Lively is guarding Brown in the right corner. With the baseline drive, Lively correctly rotates over and
because he's the low man.
Kyrie must close out to the corner. He instantly allows penetration to the lane for Brown, and PJ Washington screws up his weak side position.
He's got to go corner.
Supposed to X out to
I'm not going to lie. PJ Washington goes corner there. Luka's on Tatum. Kyrie's on Al. You've got a great defensive possession right now.
Corner. Instead, he stays at the elbow for too long.
That's on PJ Washington. And he had some defensive breakdowns in this game.
They escape when White is an inch off to his left. I charted all 31 half-court scores by the Celtics to see who...
I was going to say, PJ was responsible for a lot of them. I knew that was right.
Responsible defensively, since everyone is pointing the
Luka's
finger
at
solely
8.
at Luka.
Yikes.
Turns out, his defense led to 8 baskets, but Kyrie was right there with him. Early in the third, here's Kyrie picking up Horford, so they go right into a pick and roll to force him onto Brown out top. He does his best to move his feet, but Brown overpowers him into the lane and gets the nice roll on a 5-footer. With Kyrie guarding Horford,
Kyrie just can't guard that.
The wing, it allows Gafford to hover in the lane, but it also leaves his man Holiday wide open. As soon as Gafford sees Brown is not going to cut to the basket, he should be getting back to the left side. Instead, he takes 2 more steps towards the right sideline, and when they run that same play...
He's way too far over right now. Way too far over. What is he doing?
It's the previous clip, this time for Tatum, who gets the ball screen immediately on the catch. Kyrie doesn't even get a chance to get involved because Gafford had way too long a distance.
He was way too far over. I just don't understand what he was doing.
Now they're in full scramble mode. Jones Jr. closes out to prevent the pass back out top.
They're still fine.
Straight line drive, and Kyrie is so concerned that PJ Washington cover Al out top that he doesn't realize Drew is right in front.
No, that's not Kyrie's drop. This is not Kyrie's drop.
Concerned that PJ Washington
ever. Kyrie cannot leave Tatum here. He can't. Gafford, you just got to try to play 2 with 1 here.
Cover Al out top. That he doesn't realize Drew is right in front of him.
He does.
Nice cut.
You just have Tatum in the corner. You can't leave Tatum in the corner.
In the second, Kyrie is on Horford to start, so they eventually get Al down low on the block to try and take advantage. While Luka was doing a good job scanning ball on his man, at some point he just glitches and lets...
Come on, man. Like Luka. That is...
cut right to the hoop for the easy layup.
That's so bad. By the time you get
to the finals, your team better be able to execute a new game plan. But even though this is after a break in the action, Kyrie still forgets to pick up Horford, even with Lively reminding him. This means Lively has to step up to help defend the pin away for Tatum, and it forces a switch. This is what the Mavs do not want, but luckily for Dallas, Tatum didn't get his own memo about the sidestep threes until the second half.
Why is Tatum shooting that shot? And I know Tatum was great in the first quarter. Just a bailout.
They do it again after a made bucket. Kyrie is in his own world picking up the ball instead of Horford, and Lively is left again pointing to anyone else to guard the Celtics center. By the time Luka takes a step in that direction, the offense has already started. Lively is now getting beat, Hardaway correctly rotates over, and you guessed it, Kyrie needs to guard the corner. This poor closeout allows Drew right into the lane, collapsing the defense.
They were honestly in fine position. I feel like what the Mavs got to do is they got to make like a Drew Holiday, make like a indecisive decision, and then a tough floater. The Mavs centers are leaving their feet way too much right now.
And letting White get a wide open 3-point shot to regain the lead for the Celtics.
Can't give that up.
At the end of the first half, they have Kyrie start out on Drew for reasons unknown. And even though Luka is guarding the best shooter in the gym, he is standing several feet away.
This was just obvious. I knew when Luka was standing there. It's over. What are you doing,
about
Luka?
Some non-event on the weak side instead of defending his own man who is now 1 pass away and catching and shooting his way to another
like
triple.
Sam Hauser is going to make 60% of those shots.
Can you hear me shaking my head? In the third, they go away from the Kyrie on Horford setup. So Boston puts him in the blender with the inside ball screen for Tatum. Gafford was in good position to offer support, but leaves too early, afraid of the skip to Drew, and leaving Kyrie in a bad position after the switch.
It's tough because he has to get out of the lane, and to do what he's got to do it on that
Kyrie
side.
Could have gone around the backside to stop his cover.
Oh, he just got out.
But Tatum doesn't let him out.
No, he didn't even need to. He had just cleared.
And they score another layup.
He was fine.
Luka had a few more confounding defensive plays as he jumps into the wrong direction on his pitch, forcing his teammates into extreme...
Like you're just out of position. And I know that their game plan might be for Derrick Jones Jr. to rotate over here, but it's like you are so out of position here.
To cover for him, and PJ cannot contest well enough to stop the shot from going in.
The late closeout.
This was even worse. On a flat ball screen, Brown has his choice.
This is bad, and I watched this already. Like, what is Luka doing here?
To go in. Luka is not in any kind of position to react quickly as he walks up there, and as a result, Brown gets no resistance.
What are you doing, Luka? What are you doing?
As he just detonates on the rim for a 15-point lead.
Like, what are you doing, Luka?
This one was a little embarrassing as Kyrie violates one of the biggest defensive rules in man-to-man defense. Do not help one pass away off a corner shooter.
He was fine if he stunned it and got back, but he full-on helped and then lost the ball.
It was so bad that he spun all the way around.
Like, he was fine if he sprints back to the corner.
Until it was too late. And Brown got a clean look as we started getting "this series is over" vibes. And at the end of the game, Kyrie remembered to guard Horford okay, but he turns his back on the ball while the pin away is being set. So
that's what I'm saying. Awful coach. He's like, oh, well, you got to jam it. I don't care what you do, but you cannot turn your back to the basketball. That's the problem here.
This is a pass right by Irving's ear. And that gave the Celtics a separation they needed to hang on when Kyrie tried to recreate his famous Game 7 shot versus the Warriors instead of attacking Horford into the paint. And now...
That was good defense by Al Horford. I'll give Al a lot of credit for that. That's great defense.
With the rubble of what could have been in this year's finals, as we're poised to see this series end within the next 2 games.
I say this. It's not just Luka. It's not. The Mavs can't match up versus the Celtics, but Luka's a big-time problem, and they attack him so often. Drop a like on the video, subscribe if you're new, and as always, man, I love you guys. Have a blessed day.